రికార్డ్ చేద్దామా? నిన్న అప్లోడ్ చేసినావా? ఏ బ్యాచ్ లో అప్లోడ్ చేస్తున్నావు శివ? ఈ బ్యాచ్ లో అప్లోడ్ చేయి. నోట్స్ ఒక్కటి అప్లోడ్ చేయాలి అనుకుంటున్నాను. క్లాస్ 3ది. క్లాస్ 3 నుండి. ఏ కంపెనీ అది ఈరోజు? ఏ కంపెనీ పెట్టినా? కంపెనీ అవన్నీ ఫామ్ తీసుకొచ్చినా? అవునా? క్యాప్జెమినీ మంచిగానే ఉంటది. రాద్దాం. సెల్ఫ్ స్క్రిప్టింగ్ నడితే చేద్దాం. డాకర్ వచ్చా గౌతమ్ నీకు? ఎక్స్పర్టైజ్ ఎక్కడెక్కడ ఉన్నా అన్న మేము ఒక 1 week 10 days
Hello. Hello.
అండ్ అవన్నీ చేస్తున్నా. ఒక్క నిమిషం.
Okay.
హలో.
Hello. Yeah, hi, sir.
Yeah, can you share your resume?
Oh, okay. Through WhatsApp, can I share?
Through mail you can share.
Okay.
Mock at the rate. Just a
One
second, I'll ask the mail.
Okay. Shankar, I think already have sent it in your WhatsApp number 1 week
Can you
back.
share it once again now?
Okay. Mail ID?
WhatsApp లో సెండ్ చేయండి. Can you send it to me?
In WhatsApp లో సెండ్ చేయాలా? Yeah, I have sent it right now. Please check.
Just a second. Yeah. So
like, can you let me know about yourself and overall your experience? And
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Myself, Gautam. I'm born and brought up in Hyderabad. Currently, I'm working in T systems in a project like Cooper, which is connected cars. In this project, my contribution to this project, like implementing the infrastructure through Terraform, writing Terraform scripts for our application related resources in AWS cloud, like EC2, VPC, S3, auto scaling, Route 53, and CloudWatch. These are services I have worked on, uh, and through manually have implemented this infrastructure and also with Terraform scripts. And coming to cloud, coming to DevOps, like I have worked on tools like Docker for containerization and Kubernetes and CI/CD with the Jenkins and configuration tool Ansible. And our applications, we are using a Java-based application, so that we are using Maven to build. So into CI/CD pipelines, I have integrated GitHub and Maven, and for code quality tool SonarQube, and storing our artifact into Nexus repository. So pushing our application, we are going to push it into Kubernetes environment. So that case, we are using Argo CD, which is act as a push based. Uh, these are the tools I have worked on into DevOps. Yeah, things I know I have worked on like creating the writing the manifest Kubernetes manifest files, and writing the Docker images, and some of the times modifying the CI/CD pipelines. So I'm having some of the knowledge on shell scripting, but I have not written the shell scripting, but by seeing the scripts, I'm having the idea of what actually the script is it, and I do some of the modifications on it. Um yeah, this is what about me.
so, like, let us start from cloud, then we will
Okay,
try to go to DevOps, or
sure.
let's start with Linux even. You know
Okay.
basic Linux, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So can you let me know like why the user ID gets started with respect to 1000 itself?
Yes, in Linux, that there is a default. Some of the process it will run by system itself. Default process it will be run. It will take for 1 to 100, I think 1 to 100 or 1 to 1000. Its default it will run by process itself. So if you have created any processes, it will be take it after 1000 number.
Why process
I'm
is
not.
coming with that? Actually, process related things are separate. User administration is completely different.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. So, like, what is the use of like, how do you check the ports of remote system?
Ports, right? What are the ports running in our server by using the
Remote server.
remote?
Yeah,
uh, remote in the sense I didn't get that one.
not the current server what you have logged in. I had some five servers separately. I just want to check some of the like third server active ports. I have only the server IP. That's it. So how do I test it?
Okay, without logging into the remote machine, right?
Yes, yes.
Without logging into the remote machine by uh, into the server, what are the services ports is open. uh, I think by checking into a security group, what are the ports open for this service. I'm not sure how we can check what are the ports are open without logging
Okay.
into the machine.
Okay. What is the difference between CloudWatch, CloudFront, and CloudTrail?
Yeah, CloudWatch is a monitoring tool. It will monitor the CPU utilization metrics logs of our application related resources. And coming to CloudTrail, it will also monitor the what are the users has created, what are the resources they created, and how based on particular user is accessing what are the resources. If he has changed any of the resources, So everything it will be monitored by CloudTrail.
I mean, what are all the changes that user have done, you mean?
For suppose, not change in the sense, for suppose if any user is accessing CloudWatch, if any user is accessing EC2 and any of the services, so everything it will be monitored by CloudTrail. So what exactly it is, user is accessing what and what resources in the AWS cloud, so everything it will be monitored.
CloudFront?
CloudFront is a content delivery network. It is for a cache purpose and low latency. If you have uploaded any files objects in S3 bucket, so end user going to access those static website. So without low latency, by using the CloudFront, he will easily access the application. So
Mm-hmm.
the data is having in CloudFront as a cache. So without again going into the application, by directly going into CloudFront as a whatever the cache is storing before is accessing, so he can access easily without he can easily accessible by going with cache in CloudFront.
So CloudWatch is free or it is paid service?
So CloudWatch is a not free; it is a paid service. CloudWatch.
Oh, it is
I'm not.
paid service.
Yeah, CloudWatch in the sense, while if you have created any namespaces in CloudWatch, based on those namespaces which you have created, so based on those it will be paid, it will not free. But other than creating alarms, namespaces, it will be monitored by free, I think.
The CloudWatch will have default monitoring and detail monitoring.
Yes, default and detail monitoring. Yeah,
So
default
default monitoring is
by
for how many minutes?
5 minutes. By default it will monitor by 5 minutes.
And detail monitoring?
1 minute, based on the requirement, I think, but it will be by detail monitoring, one for every 1 minute it will be monitored.
Okay. So you told that you are good with Terraform, right? You are provisioning. So
Yeah.
can you let me know why do we use modules in Terraform?
uh, Module, I'm not much used for modules, but having the knowledge on modules, like it is a reusabilities, so we can use the script for multiple applications, and we can any if whatever the script we have done, those script it will run by another user as well. So changing the values and value sections, so it will make easily to deploy to create to create the infrastructure. It is
So
basically it is for reusabilities, so those scripts we can reusable for creating the multiple resources, changing the values. For suppose in Terraforms, for suppose without modules, if you have written the scripts, so those script it will be create only one infrastructure. So if we have changed those script and run the Terraform commands, those infrastructure it will be changed. So into modules we can clone, we can copy those scripts to create the infrastructure multiple times. So for that case we can using Terraform modules
why do we use Terraform actually?
to creating the infrastructure, for automating the infrastructure. So without going to manually creating the infrastructure in AWS cloud, if any cloud, going with the Terraform, it will be automatically create the infrastructure. For that case, we are going to create. For
So
that case, we are going to use
can you tell the default file structure of Terraform?
default file structure into Terraform, right? Like writing the script into when writing the Terraform scripts, right?
Yes, yes.
Terraform variable.tf, whatever the variables we are going to store into, we are going to put in variable section, and output if you want to trigger any of the IDs, so we are going to put in output.tf files. And if you want to change any default variable section, we are going to put in variable.tf var files. And main.tf files actual resource section we are going to put in main.tf. And uh, while talking with module section, there is another way of creating the files. But when talking into Terraform scripts, resource.tf, variable.tf, output.tf, input variable files we are going to create.
Okay.
Like after creating the infrastructure, we will get the terraform.tf state file. Before running the commands, we are going to initialize the Terraform provided plugins. So that case we are going to run the Terraform init. At the time it will create the dot terraform file.
Is it mandatory to maintain like main.tf, var.tf, out.tf?
So based on our requirement, we can based on our understanding, we are going to take in variables, what are the variables we are going to variables we are going to put in one file. So that case we are going to create one file. By default, no variable dot, by default we are going to take .tf name indication, in the sense based on our understanding we can create. But in the module section,
Terraform, yeah, yeah. Terraform takes a directory as an input or a file as an input.
file as an input.
Okay. No, it takes directory as an input. So that is the reason, like if you have var.tf, out.tf, main.tf, if you are in one directory and if you have 10 files or
Oh, yeah,
three
yeah, yeah,
files,
yeah.
yeah, you can directly, you no need to go wherever you type ls main.tf if it is there. And if you try to apply, I mean, if three files were there under that directory, you
Yes,
can
yes.
give directly, apply directly in that
Yeah,
directory.
directly in the directory, if you have applied, so whatever the files in the directory, it will automatically run.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So can you let me know like why do we use import command?
Terraform import. That command I have not used it, but having the idea, like what manually created infrastructure, those things we are going to import, but by taking those infrastructure in the AWS cloud, by getting those infrastructure into Terraform scripts. Without writing the Terraform scripts, we can easily import the infrastructure which is having in AWS cloud. So importing those infrastructure into Terraform scripts. For that case, we are going to run the Terraform import command. I'm not
Okay.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
So what you'll try to do when someone tries to create like manually, not via automation. Like let's say 10 resources like I have created and after via Terraform and someone in my team have created 4 and 3, total 7 resources again via UI. So how do you map this? Can you turn on your video if you don't mind?
Sure, sure. Zoom is unable to. Zoom is unable to detect the camera. Make sure that your camera is powered on and is
Can you go to settings and enable like and you can set click on like the log button and settings and enable microphone and video.
okay. Okay. It is, there is no setting section in this. I'm not seeing setting section.
Okay, not a problem, leave it. Okay. So like what I'm asking,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So how do I import? I'm asking. Like if I have created, like I had created 10 resources and I have seven other resources which are created.
Okay. What if any user is created manually in the AWS cloud? Those things, how we are going to import in Terraform scripts, right? Your question?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Because next time whenever you try, state file will not be in sync with the manual things, right?
yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. Mhm.
Okay. On a bulk note, if you want to import, like let's say 50 resources you had created manually and only
Okay.
10 resources via Terraform scripts. So how do you import this 50 resources? Let me go.
No
So
idea,
okay.
right? Not able
So
to recalling,
how you okay.
but i- if our actually those 10 resources which we have created through Terraform, those state file we are going to put in S3 bucket. So that case for by using a backend config file, we are going to so that is another concept. No, 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 that is not. No, right now I'm not able to recall how it actually it works. So user, those user credential we are going to put. I think I'm not sure. No idea right now.
Okay, not a problem.
So
So
okay, if any while running the Terraform import command only, we are going to put before that we are going to give user credentials, and after that by running Terraform import command, what are the if in region specific, like that way we are going to give the command
no. Okay.
instance. Okay.
So can you tell me the difference between the statefile .tf and like backend .tf?
State file in the sense what are the resources infrastructure we have created, so those all the script it will be stored in state file. So if you have deleted terraform.tf state file, our infrastructure after running the terraform apply, the infrastructure will be deleted automatically. And coming to
Sorry.
back,
No. If you try to
if you
delete state
if you
file,
have if, if you
automatically
have
the resource
deleted terraform.tf state file after applying the terraform apply command, the infrastructure will it going to delete.
will that happen?
So without running the terraform apply command, it will not delete. If you have
Can
any, if you have done
you
any changes in the terra,
any
sorry,
resource? Can you share your screen and can you like create simple IAM user via Terraform and can you do that?
going to create I am user.
Yeah. Can you share it and just try to delete the state file and try to Terraform apply, try to do enable that particular thing, run that command. Will that IAM user gets deleted or not? Can you let me know?
So if you want to so that case, yeah, I'm not having AWS cloud. So if I have write terraform script, I will write. So if you are saying like about running the terraform command, creating the infrastructure, so that case I want to take AWS cloud credentials. So everything I want to take right now, right?
Okay. You
Shall
try
I
it after. Yeah. So
okay, it won't be delete the infrastructure. I
no,
your
I don't know. You try to do, you try to apply it manually. You try to delete that. Okay, the question is difference between the backend TF and the state file.
Yes, backend TF. For suppose if you have we are going to create the EKS cluster. For that case, before that, already we in networking related infrastructure is already created in the AWS cloud, like VPC, subnet, like that we already is created. So those related infrastructure TF state file is having in S3 bucket. State file is having in S3 bucket. So by configuring those state file into backend path location, we are going to put in backend config file path location of the state file which is having an S3 bucket. So by configuring those backend state file, we are going to create the EKS cluster from that uh, state file which is having the infrastructure of the networking related VPCs subnets.
No, no,
For
no.
that case,
Basically, the difference you try to check. I asked only the difference, not okay, not a problem.
okay,
Uh,
difference between backend file and the state file.
yeah, yeah. Backend.tf. You
Okay,
try to check.
backend in the sense, of course, what I think whatever the infrastructure is having in state file, we are going to take backup those backup related infrastructure which is having in backend state file, backend.tf state file. I think I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm guessing this one.
Okay, okay. So why are you storing your state file in S3 itself?
For security reasons, if actually and uh, for main reason is for security purpose, for storing into S3 bucket. So if automatically if you have any deleting will happen, and versioning also available in S3 bucket. For that case, we are going to put in S3 bucket.
Can't I keep in Bitbucket?
Yes, and there is also one more feature in AWS cloud like DynamoDB,
No,
like
no,
state
no,
logging.
I'm asking, don't
Yes, sir.
go in as DynamoDB.
Bitbucket,
You told like in
Bitbucket.
S3 you are keeping. The the question is why can you like can't you keep your state file in Bitbucket? I'm asking why
Yeah,
only
if you,
S3 you are keeping.
it is easy to run the infrastructure easily by configuring the S3 bucket, right? If you are storing our state file into big bucket, uh, at the time, if it is some of the difficulties to integrate bit bucket. So our organizations are using S3 bucket. So why can't we use big bucket? In the sense, it is somewhat difficulties to creating the infrastructure by putting the TF state file in bit bucket.
No, it is not correct. First what you have told is correct, the security one. But
Okay,
how it is giving security?
into S3 bucket.
Yeah, you told just now, right, before
Yes, S3 is the
without without integration will be easy, you told via Bitbucket. Sorry, S3. Before that,
yeah,
you told like security
yeah.
related points when we keep in S3. So how
Yes,
it
yes.
is providing security, I'm asking.
See, if any user is having the permissions, so in S3 also, so S3 is just like a resource-based policies we can apply it on S3 bucket. So so on that bucket level, we are going to make only put only uh, some of the users we are going to put permission on that bucket. So any of the user won't be delete uh, that state file. Security in the sense that that's the main reason no one can delete.
Bitbucket like private repository, right?
Yeah, Bitbucket in the private repository.
Yeah, Bitbucket, the particular repository, the repos, everything, I can keep it in private as well, as
Yeah,
per what you're telling. That is also like that can also give security.
I'm
Okay,
saying
not
like
a
that.
problem.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah, you try to search and
okay.
Yeah, and why we need like DynamoDB here? Okay, you told just now some DynamoDB
Yeah,
S3.
yeah. Yeah, DynamoDB, it is for state locking. So for the same state file is using multiple users. So while by using the state file for multiple users, so multiple users will randomly creating the infrastructure based on those tasks and requirement. So by running at a time, by creating the infrastructure at a time, so it is difficult to handle by AWS cloud. So for that case, if any user is running the command, so for that for that particular time, it will be log the state file. So another state user will won't be create the infrastructure after completing the one user in infrastructure, then only it will create the another user infrastructure. So for that case, by locking the particular user in script for a particular time, for that case we are going to use the DynamoDB for state locking.
So if I don't lock, what happens?
If we don't lock, like it will be difficult to create the infrastructure in AWS cloud. So it will make some of the difficult, like if two users is using the same state file, accessing the same state file for creating any new infrastructure, uh, by running terraform apply command. So those two users as creating the S3 bucket. For suppose if you have taken those two user is going to create the S3 bucket by accessing the same state file. So it is S3 bucket in the same S3 bucket name convention should not be same. So by running the two users same bucket name, it will be make some difficulties to creating the infrastructure. For that case, after creating one user infrastructure only, another user infra need to be created. For that case, it will make some easily creating the infrastructure. For that case, state locking need to be implemented.
Okay, so can you let me know how do you handle errors and logging in Terraform?
By running after creating the infra, by sorry, after creating the writing the Terraform scripts, we are going to run the Terraform validate command. So it will be list out the syntax error, any resource related in errors. It will be give the line by line identification. Based on
Which
those
command
we are,
you'll try to give?
sorry,
Which command you'll try to run?
Terraform validate
That gives you syntactical error.
syntax error, yeah.
Okay.
Ter, uh, in
Okay.
Terraform, okay.
So we'll try to have on a very fast note. You just try to give the crux itself because we need to cover some other like. So can you tell me what is the difference between Terraform refresh and apply?
Refresh.
Okay.
Terraform apply in the sense, Terraform apply in the sense creating the infrastructure in AWS cloud. I'm not using Terraform refresh command.
So
It will be
like
it will be refresh. It will be refreshing the I don't know.
okay, like Terraform. What are Terraform providers?
Terraform providers.
Yeah. What does that? What is the meaning of Terraform providers?
Yeah, whatever the Terraform providers like AWS, Azure, GCP. By configuring those provider in Terraform scripts, it will be accessing the AWS related infra. And if you are going to put in provider section like Azure, so Azure related infra we are going to create. For that case, provider you can
Terraform
say.
supports any cloud vendor.
Yes, yes.
Can I use IBM Alibaba as well?
Yes, Terraform will provide a lot of uh, it will Terraform, it will be yes, I think in while in Terraform documentation section, what are the provider it will be handle, it will be list out all. There are a lot of providers it will be
Yes.
handling.
Yeah, you are correct. You need to check your official website of
Yeah,
Terraform. and which providers are being
Yes,
supported.
we are going to.
So
There we are.
yeah, what is the difference between providers and provisioners?
Provisioners is for file. There are file provisioner, remote execute provisioners. Uh, yes,
What
right.
we use for, why do we use that?
See, without logging into the is2 machine, if you want to execute any command, if you want to copy any files,
Okay, okay, okay.
for
Yeah,
that case,
yeah, fine.
for
That
that
is,
case,
yeah. So, mm, so can you explain like Terraform destroy command and it does not delete some of the critical
o-
resources. It is not deleted.
only if you want to destroy only particular resources, so that case Terraform destroy hyphen target is equal to
No, I
what are
am
the resource.
asking like if you are trying to delete, that is fine.
Okay,
Only some resources if you want to delete, you'll try to give target. But I just
yeah.
want to, I am giving destroy, but due to some reason, some or the other aspects were not getting deleted. So how do you fix this problem?
Uh, yeah. While applying only, we are going to making the connection between multiple resources by running the depends on. So if you are going to, while running creating the infra or deleting the infra, automatically it will be delete one after the another. So based on depends on
So some of the
commit
resources
argument.
not getting deleted.
Some of
So
the
how,
resources
what
not getting
what
deleted.
you'll try to do? What command you'll try to run? What is the issue where like you'll check and how do you resolve this? Uh, I'm asking.
Only some of the resources are not going to delete. How can I
Okay, not a problem. So uh, so can you explain
okay,
me like the conditions in Terraform? How do you use?
conditions, right?
Yeah.
Conditions. I'm not recalling right now conditions.
Okay,
Can you
okay.
give me any?
Yeah, yeah, not a problem. And how do you ensure? How do I ensure if I want those resources 5 times or 10 times? Okay, 5 instances I want. How do you make sure? Like, how what sort of logic you'll try to implement that?
Sorry, 5
Is
resources.
it instances or any resources? I need
Okay.
5 resources. How do you
Yeah,
bring it?
by count. We are going to put count function.
Yeah, yeah. Any other way?
For each, not for
Oh,
each. For each only. For each, I think.
okay. Count is correct, and you need to. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there
That
are
is
functions
also
like
correct.
there
But
are
you
functions available in functions. A lot of functions is available like count and loop. Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I was talking on. So,
Okay.
can you explain the difference between Kubernetes taint and Terraform taint?
Tent you said tent.
Okay.
In Kubernetes, by running the tent command, no other pods need to be scheduled on that particular node.
So,
Okay.
if you want to schedule only on that particular things,
If you want to particular, if any pod need to be deploy on my node, so on the node itself, we are going to create the node affinity. So
mm-hmm.
by adding the node affinity rules, preferred during schedule, ignored during execution. So if any pod getting from that label section, so those pod need to be created in that particular node only.
Okay, okay, yeah, fine. So, how do you use Terraform? Where do you know like Terraform taint?
Terraform tent, I have here this word, but I didn't
Okay.
search
So
what
how do
exactly
you
is.
use the variables to manage dynamic configuration files?
Sorry, can you repeat again? Variable?
So you'll have in variables, normal variables.
Oh,
But
yeah,
how do I manage like dynamic variables? I'm asking.
dynamic variable, right? Oh,
Dynamic, I mean, like to manage dynamic configuration values. I mean,
yeah, dynamic auto var files. TF variable dot TF auto var files. We are going to create that file.
okay. So can you explain me dynamic blocks or for each loops to create some any dynamic resources on rough note?
Um, right now it is. I'm forgotten what exactly the script is.
Okay, a difference between Terraform input and output variables on very basic level.
Terraform input and output, right? Uh, Terraform input file. We are going to creating the what are the resources we are going to in- output for output is for accessing the IDs. If you want to get any instance ID, VPC ID, any AMI ID dynamically, it will trigger it out in GUI, GUI section, not in GUI. After running the Terraform apply command, it will list out in output section file. Input uh, input it for uh, what are the resources we are going to not for input main.tf in, right?
Okay. So can you let us go with other things actually? Like
Okay.
Jenkins. So if I have Jenkins, some 10 stages, and if the fourth stage is getting failed, still I just don't want to stop my build. How do you ensure?
So before only we can know that fourth stage is going to fail, or else after executing the fourth stage we can make conditions like if this stage is get failed by running the command, condition like when this stage has failed goes to the moving to another
What
stage.
acts like how do you tell that? If can you tell completely?
Complete syntax, right? In the stage section, under stage section condition, um, into condition, opening the syntax like when is equal to failed, moving mm, n- not exactly, not like correct syntax.
Okay, not a problem. Can you explain me the difference between continuous deployment, continuous delivery, and continuous integration?
Yeah, continuous integration is like a pull based. It acts as a pull based. Like it will by Jenkins itself, it will clone the software by using the uh, some of the built periodically and webhooks. So it will be cloning the Git software from Git repository. After cloning the software, it will going to check the code quality of that. It will check the JUnit test cases by using the Maven test run by running the Maven test command. And after that, we are going to after the next stage, we are going to build those software. After building those of software, artifact need to be generated. So for that artifact, we are going to checking the sonar cube code quality. Okay. After that, we are going to push it into Nexus repository. If any after building those software for getting into artifact, if any error need to be identified, so those things we are going to send notification to the team. After completing successfully also, we are going to send notification to the team. For this stage, it will be accessing these stages. We are going to put in continuous integration. So if we required, we are going to build the image there itself also as well. So coming to continuous deployment stages, you are going to create the Docker images. So that case, we are going to integrate Docker, and by integrating the Argo CD as well. Argo CD here, it will act as a push based. So if any configuration data is changed, it will be identified by the Argo CD by installing the plugins like Argo Image Builder, and also another plugin you are going to install. So based on those, whatever in Docker Hub registry, if any image is updated, so it will be identify, and that the same, it will be updated in the Helm repository or else Kubernetes repository. So at that same, it will be deployed into Kubernetes environment. So it will act as a continuous deployment. So coming to continuous delivery, so into continuous delivery, we required client approval. So if the client is approved only, our application will going to deploy into the Kubernetes.
Okay.
So basically it will run automatically, automation process. Whole thing, it will be automatical by running the CI/CD pipelines.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me the concept of Jenkins shared libraries?
Shared libraries, right? Like one shared libraries it is useful for when our pipeline is going to be
Can you pull your laptop a bit front if you don't mind? I'm not getting.
okay. Yeah, I'm using microphone. It is
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good. Yeah, go ahead.
shared libraries, right? Uh, it is for utilizing the same pipeline in multiple projects. So without creating multiple pipelines, so by creating only one pipeline, so by running only one pipeline, we are going to be running with multiple projects. For that case, we are going to create shared libraries. So by uh, changing the pipe any syntax in any stages, any syntax in pipeline, so it will be affecting all the projects for all the environments. For that case, by changing the same pipeline, for that case, we use shared libraries.
Okay, okay, okay. So can you let us move with other tool like we'll try to have Git. So you worked on Git, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell me the difference between Git Squash and Git Stash?
git stash git stash git stash
Git
without committing the code, if you want to come out of that code, but without running the git commit, so we use a git stash. Another you said git stash.
Squash.
Git squash. Git squash, I think it is for committing. There are 10 commit IDs. Those all commit IDs, by putting into one commit ID. For that case, we are going to use git stash. I'm not sure this
Okay.
one.
Like what is the particular like branching strategy that you are using?
Yeah, master branch, it is for production environment, and release branch. Okay. Under release branch, each and every developer will create his own branch based on the CR request. Uh, so uh, um, by running the develop by writing the code, that code need to be check in is developer branch. After those code is running fine, so after approving the leads, so those code need to be merged into the release branch. So those release branch also we are going to be deploy into pre-production environment. So after checking into those code and into pre-production environment, everything, if it working, everything is fine. So after approving those code also, we are going to merge it into the master branch. So like that way, in each and every branch we are going to uh, run test, and in development environment, pre-production environment, staging environment, in each and every environment is running fine those code. So we are going to create merge it into the master branch. So at last we are going, that master branch we are going to deploy into the production environment. So into the production environment also we are going to be checking the that code need to be running in production environment also. So if we want to if we required any new feature, so by creating the future branch also, by creating the updated versions, so we are going to put it into the future branch by creating the future branch. And if any issue has raised into the production environment, so those things, for that case we are going to create one hot fix branch. So by taking from master branch code, so those issue also after resolving into hotfix branch, that the same it will be going to merge into the master and deploying into the production environment.
Okay. So can you tell me the difference between virtualization and hypervisation?
Virtualization,
Sorry,
like of
virtualization,
what
containerization.
containerization, right? Like if you require, if you want to divide the operating one server into a virtualization, we are going to install any one of the, by using any one of the software like hypervisor software, we are going to divide those OS into multiple parts like virtualization. So virtualization in the sense hardware resource sharing. After dividing those hardwares into virtualizations, it won't be possible to swap from one virtual machine storage to another virtualization machine. So into one virtualization machine we are going to create multiple containers as well. So in each and every virtual machine we are going to create the containers. So container is just like resource sharing system, we can say. uh, yeah, this is a make
Okay, okay. So can you tell me like how do I restrict a particular file in S3 bucket to not have access to all of the users?
yeah, by into S3 bucket, in there is a, we are going to write the policies. Under those policies section, we are going to put principal into principal section. Only required users we are going to give the user ARN, like that way. By default all other users
Yeah,
will won't access
what is ARN?
ARN.
Yeah,
ARN for, I'm ARN in the sense like full form of ARN you are saying?
yeah, yeah.
ARN, Amazon ARN, Amazon resource number,
Name.
name, Amazon resource name. Yeah,
Oh, So, and still you had worked on Ansible, right?
yeah.
So what is like what are handlers use it for?
I'm reading went down that one. Handlers for notifying the uh, task. I'm not I'm not gone through the what actually the handler sees it.
Can you tell me the role structure
Role
default
structure.
Ansible?
Yeah, for role is for so it is in all the configuration details, it is difficult to handle in one playbook section. For that case we are going to use the role. So in role, there is a handler section and task, and handler task, mm,
Let me know the dynamic inventory in Ansible.
yeah, dynamic inventory is for so in Ansible host directory etc host in that file in that whatever the host IPs, if you have mentioned those, in those machines only our configuration data will be changed. So if we want to uh, I'm not done as a practically by getting into the Google have identified like dynamic inventory is for dynamic IPs of the nodes. It will be dynamically trigger out and it will be do the configuration on those node as well. So without putting into the root etc host Ansible file,
Yeah. How do you create separate inventories for separate environments?
group by taking the group name under the group name.
No
Uh, sorry.
name. Yeah, that is fine. Group name is we'll try to use some servers in that particular environment if you want not to trigger or trigger. But I'm telling like QA environment, dev environment, pre-prod staging or UAT or production depends upon company. So if I
Okay.
want to track only that particular inventory, even QA environment, even in that QA environment, I have a separate number of servers called load testing or load performance servers, and I just want to trigger only that particular group. How do you
Mm.
achieve, how do you create this inventory structure and where you will try to create?
See in host file itself, in host file itself, what are the servers we are going to do the configuration? Those those servers only we are going to put it in the under group section. If under the own naming convention, by putting under those name and sections, what are the IPs you are going to put? Those IPs we are going to putting after doing the configuration into the Ansible file. We are going to uh, put Ansible colon group name. So under those group name only, what are the IPs are having, uh, it will do the configuration on particular uh, under those group names only. So for suppose developing environment, there are two servers, and staging environment two servers. So under one group name, under one group name, group one is equal to under group one name we are going to put development environment IP address, and under group 2 name we are going to put staging environment IPs. So by writing the Ansible files, we are going to put group names like group 1 group 2. So those configuration data will change only those IPs of under groups
Okay,
without
okay.
doing the configuration and everything.
Yeah, only you can check once again. But
Okay.
in like we'll try to go with AWS.
Okay.
Is it possible to change the region of EC2 instance while it's running? Like if you are able to do how?
Sorry, I didn't get point. What I have to
Change
change?
the
Easy to
region of
instance.
EC2 instance. Yeah, EC2 instance is running in one region, and you
Okay.
want to change that same server to other region. It is
No,
running itself while running itself.
while running itself.
Yeah.
No, no, while
O-
running in the sense, no, I'm by taking AMI we can share, but while running I can't. I don't know what exactly is it.
Okay, what is difference between life cycle and RDS snapshot?
Life cycle and RDS snapshot.
Snapshot difference.
Life cycle is like in there is a S3 life cycle. S3 life cycle. You mean that? You mean that one?
Yeah, for various things we will
Yeah.
have like
Okay. Life cycle. For suppose, if we can say like if any object, if any file, if you are uploaded in the S3, so by based on the utilization of that file, So we are going to make conditions by putting for particular time it will be in standard standard section, and after that one zone. So like that way, by moving one storage class to another storage class, after particular delay, after particular time like 365 days, it will, after that it will going to be delete. Like that way we are going to make one storage class to another by moving our objects from one storage class to another storage class till expiry. So we can say life cycle policy in S3. By coming to RDS snapshot, snapshot is for like if you want to make secondary database, uh, for that case we are going to take RDS snapshot from primary. So automatically it will be not automatically, by taking the RDS sorry, for RDS snapshot is for uh, bringing up a secondary database for asynchronization.
Have you worked on service mesh and Istio in Kubernetes or
Service
OpenShift
mesh,
and Istio?
no, I'm not
Okay.
work that one.
Yeah.
OpenShift is for while preparing for certification, I've gone through that. OpenShift is for long back data need to be storing purpose, like that way.
Certification in the sense, how do you ensure like certificate HTTPS it is working on HTTPS? Like whatever you have deployed in Kubernetes cluster with Ingress,
Yeah, in Ingress,
like
in
you have.
annotation, in Ingress annotation section, we are going
No,
to
no, no. I'm asking about SSL certificate. How do you ensure SSL certificate when you are running in all of your applications? The procedure will be same, but yeah, how do you do your SSL configurations in all of your Kubernetes cluster? Do you know about SSL?
yeah. So SL
Why do we
certificate
use SSL? Why do we use
for
SSL
encryption.
TLS? What
For
sort of thing?
for main thing is for encryption. So before user accessing, after user, in between user to application, so from coming back to user going back to application, there will be encryption. It will be run from forward action and backward action, both the ways. There is encryption will happen. For security purpose we are going to use SSL certificates for
Like whenever we don't attach SSL certificate on which particular port our application works, and whenever we apply SSL
after
certificate,
applying 4 4 after applying certificates 443, it will be run. Before that it will be run by in 80 itself.
okay, why do we use Ingress in Kubernetes?
For ingress is for end user request. It will goes to multiple application based on the path based routing, and also yeah, for path based routing and host not I'm think, but I have used it only
Main advantage you can tell me.
for path based routing. If you have end user is accessing payment related application, so by accessing DNS domain name slash payment, if you have run that, so it will goes to payment related application.
First,
So
you need to tell, okay, each particular service need one load balancer. In order to mitigate multiple load balancers, we'll try to go ahead with Ingress. So in this fashion, and later you can say all of the things in detail. But
okay,
yeah, so fine, Gautam, actually. And I guess how much of experience you hold?
3,
Around three, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
3 years.
it is okay. Like you need to improvise in some parts that it is okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Some, and you are using some of the gap fillers.
Hmm.
Actually, like whenever you are trying to
Yeah.
say like you're so like in between
Hmm.
that, we'll try to call it as gap fillers. So whenever
Yes,
you
yes.
try to say it should go with a flow, you should not stuck on it. You can take your time, you can take your buffer time. That's not a problem. but once you
Yes, yes.
start on it will give you a feel something you are not confident. So once you start on a very slow note, you can tell. But lot much of gaps I have observed. What I feel is something. Don't try to take it in a negative way.
Yeah, yeah,
And
no, no.
yeah, and what I feel is like at times whenever I ask, you are trying, like you are searching over the internet. I feel because like your eyes were seeing somewhere at times, not
Mm-hmm.
continuously. Have you done that actually? To be honest, if you are
No, no,
okay.
no, 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 no.
Yeah,
I'm honest. I'm not done it.
yeah. Okay, fine, fine. But like
Yeah, I'm some of the
I,
time yeah, I'm seeing
yeah, yeah,
like that way.
yeah, yeah, yes. So
It
that is, I
yeah.
thought to tell like rotate your
I'm
camera.
also thinking like if the opposite person is thinking like that way, I'm also got that idea. Like when
Yeah.
I'm seeing like this way, it will make some of the difference.
So what you can do is you can implement a project actually. You can start implementing all of the things, writing some of the things. Okay, traditional services everyone knows. That is the reason I'm not asking. Like you should know, if you know the traditional services as well, you should know in detail, like with respect to IAM, EC2, all of these things. And if you are learning some other things like Lambda, step functions, or ACM, okay, and still ops work, guard duty, certificate
Yes.
management, ACM, yeah, and still AWS organization, Cloud9. So these kind like some other skills, if you have, that will be helpful for you in order to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
and shell scripting knowledge, which is required, and Terraform. You can share your screen and you can keep up your environment ready so that
Okay.
at times whenever if they don't even ask, you can share your screen and tell them, yeah, this is what I do, okay, this is how I do, right? And it is not needed that you are doing on an own independent note. You can take the help from internet, but yeah, so you need to come across, you need to understand some insights of some services in AWS or in DevOps tools. I'm not saying that you should be very good, but yeah, gradually it will come while you practice all of your things on a daily note. Uh,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
fine. Fine, Gautam. I'll try
Yeah.
to stop it at here.
Yeah, okay, Shankar. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.